Hello, I'm Victoria and welcome to my channel. I've been doing some 1850s reenacting for a few years now, and one thing that I have been meaning to sew for a long time is a pair of drawers. The 1850s were a time of transition where you could wear drawers or not. You could either go with nothing under your underskirts or you could wear split drawers. By the time that hoops came into fashion, drawers were a lot more necessary to avoid flashing people. But in this time with corded petticoats, you got enough going on down there that you're not going to flash anyone really. So when reenacting lately, or the past several years, I've just been wearing modern underwear underneath my skirts, but I'm trying to get more accurate. And so the time has come for a pair of drawers. I made a pair a few years ago now, but I didn't quite finish them. I think they're really close, but I've lost them somewhere. Can't find them, so I'm just gonna make a new pair now. The thing that I've been avoiding about drawers is I can't figure out, do they go over or under the chemise and corset? I think from what I've heard and read and been talked to people who have studied this more, it's a matter of personal preference. They can go under everything, underneath your corset, under your chemise, but that doesn't seem like it'd be very comfortable to have a button under your corset, but you know, maybe it is. Or you can put them over your corset and chemise, but then you have to tuck your chemise into your drawers, which I feel like would get kind of in the way to try to go to the bathroom. So it's time to make a pair, try them out, see how it goes, and I'll let you know. I'm gonna make a pair of back and opening ones because I think I'm gonna go under the corset, and then the button will be between the laces so it won't be digging into my back with the pressure of the corset on it. To draft my drawers, I'm using Elizabeth Stuart Clark's book, The Dressmaker's Guide. It's a handy resource that has been well researched and has many aspects of mid-19th century dressmaking, covering the 1840s to 60s. She also has a free resource on her website on how to draft drawers. I'll link it and the book in the description below. I'm just drawing my pattern directly onto my fabric. I have it folded over so that I will be able to cut out both legs in one go. I really should have drawn it onto paper so that I would be able to use the pattern again, as well as to be able to make any adjustments to the pattern for later use. However, I don't have any paper that's wide enough, so just drawing it onto the fabric it is. I am just using a pencil. It's period accurate for this purpose, and the marks won't show up much. The only other tools I used were measuring tape and a yardstick. I'm using Pimatex cotton for my drawers. It's a good weight that I like to use for my 1850s undergarments. This bit is just left over from some petticoats that I was working on. Once I had it all drawn out, I went ahead and cut it out with my scissors. Now you can see I've got my two legs cut out. They will just get sewn up individually and then attached together later with the waistband. Now it's time to sit down and do some hand sewing. I'm gonna run and fill these seams, these inseams, and I might put the tucks in too. I was careful to make sure that I have 2 different legs and not 2 left legs or 2 right legs, because that wouldn't work very well. I'm doing up the inseam of my drawers. They're split drawers, so that means that the crotch is open, and so each leg is done up separately. I've done one leg already. I'm doing a run and fill seam on these. I just tidied my studio somewhat to try to make it workable again. So that's where I'm out here. Me and everyone's also out here helping me sewing in the studio. You gonna settle down? And while I was doing my cleaning, guess what I found? I found the pair of drawers I started like 3 years ago. I just need a button and a buttonhole, and then I can try them and see if they're gonna be comfortable or not. I did 3 tucks at the bottom. I sewed them completely by hand, and I put a facing in that I'm not doing in my new pair. Here are the drawers I found in my box, and they're really long. I guess I just really want to protect my knees from the starch petticoats. But the back goes like this, and so the waistband doesn't really sit right. So I think that will be something to alter to make it more parallel. But I don't have a measuring tape, so I'm going to use this waistband as a measure to see how big I need to make the waistband for those. And otherwise, they feel real silly. It's another winter dark day here, and it's high time I finish this pair of drawers I started like 2 months ago. I had been making this pair very simple, in hopes that I would be able to wear them to my event in early October, but I didn't finish them in time for that. And then I found the pair of drawers I had started a couple years ago, and they just needed a couple buttonholes, so I put those on and wore those to an event last weekend. It's now early December. And wearing them, I discovered a couple things that I want to change about this pair. The other pair, like this pair that I was making, were back opening. And with the way that the cut goes to add more space to the bottom area, it didn't quite overlap as much as I would like, and so it was kind of drafty. But I did decide to do the wear it over the chemise and corset method, where you just tuck your chemise into it, and I really liked that in the end. I liked it adds more coverage, and it covered the drafty area so it wasn't a problem, and it just kept it out of the way. So with this pair, I'm going to make them front opening now if I can. So I might cut out some of this material here and make it less of a height difference between the front and the back. But I just need to add a waistband. I'm going to overlap the back a bit more, so that will hopefully help with the drafty bottom. And then I think I might add some facings on the inside like my other pair has to make it a little bit more luxurious, since this pair now is no longer a rush pair. One button in the front and they'll be done. Wearing drawers for the first time, I came to a couple conclusions that I really enjoyed. One, they're much warmer. My legs were kept much warmer, which was very good for an early December event where I was hanging out outside. Two, like I expected, they protected my knees from my stiff starched petticoats. It was so nice. Also, they were much easier to go to the bathroom in than I had expected. I thought they would require some practice, and especially with a long chemise tucked into it, but it was fine. So, they were pretty good. I will definitely continue wearing them in the future. And they felt more secure than I thought they would, and provided a lot more coverage than I thought they would. I'm sure y'all want to know my experience wearing split drawers now that we've just met. So, there you go. I've decided, since I'm not in such of a time rush as I was, to do a facing in the crotch. So, I've sewn it onto this pair once. I've sewn it onto this leg already. So, it's just like a strip of fabric here that is removable, so you can replace it when it gets worn, and apparently it helps with chafing or something, so I figure it's probably a bit more comfortable than just the narrow edge like I had been planning, like I have on this drawer. So, how did I make my facing? Well, let me show you. To figure this out, I could have used a pattern piece, but I don't have a pattern since I drafted it all directly onto the fabric, as I did not feel like laying out a piece of paper in my tiny house and studio. I'm going to take the fabric that I made it out of, yep, that will do. Lay it out, and then the facing is 5 inches. So I'm going to take my ruler, put it to 5 inches, put it on there, line up the top edge. Let's see if that's 5 inches. A little bit wider than 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches. Find me my pencil. And then I'm just going to trace that on here roughly, and then I will cut it out. So that is the one for the back. I'll do it again for the front, which is a little bit shorter. And then I sew together the bottom. I'm working in my house now, and I sewed this bottom part, the facing. I'm going to press it open, and then I'm going to attach it into the drawers leg, making this seam match up here. I'll pin each in, and then I'll sew them together along these lines. I forgot to pay attention to which side is the right side, because when it's white fabric, I often forget that there is still a right side and a wrong side to it, so I just pin these together, and it is sewn together wrong. See how these are backwards? So I'm going to have to tear this out and sew it together the other way. Do it again. What's happening outside my window while I'm sewing? Shrixin and Chocolate Puff. Eating some grass. Uh-oh, she sees me. Got this sewed down. Give it a little press. Set the stitches. Try not to press wrinkles into my fabric. I left this little bit unstitched because when I did it before I had a hard time making that smooth. So I'm going to flip this right side around. Well, I think I'll iron the seam to one side, the seam allowance. Now we'll fold this, iron this seam, press the seam. Then I'm just going to press this nicely and I will sew it, close it up from this side. Now I am going to fold this under, iron it down, do a running stitch along here to attach this facing to the drawer seat, and I'll do that all the way around. I have been leaving, flip it the other way around, the very bottom open on these. This part I'll cut it, trim it straight, and I've been leaving that open. I don't know why, but it's been working pretty well, so I'll probably just do that again. It's getting dark out, but I'm going to keep working because I want to finish these drawers. I have 2 legs here, but they need to be joined up together. So I have a waistband that I cut a long time ago, and I ironed it down. I'm going to attach it to the inside. Well, first, this is too much fabric for what will fit around my waist, so I'm going to gather from like here to here. It's going to overlap in the front by a couple inches, and it's going to overlap in the back by like 5 or 6 inches. So just slightly more than the width of the facing on the back. So I'm going to gather from just past the facing all the way up to about where the facing is on the front. And then I will fit that into the waistband, which I need to remeasure while wearing my corset to make sure I'm not going to make it too big, since I've decided that I'm going to wear it over instead of under the corset. I will sew this on, this right along there, on the inside of the corset, and then I will fold this over and whip that down on the outside to make it nice and neat. Check it out, I finished my drawers. So I got the waistband put on. You can see I overlapped it in the back here, and then I gathered between the facing in the back and the facing in the front into the waistband. I put on a button here and made a buttonhole on the other side. Look at how good that buttonhole looks. And it's got brand fur all over it, but that's what happens. So I made sure that it kind of matched up so that the same leg is on the sort of outside on both sides, if you know what I'm saying. Last thing I like to do on my undergarments is to sew a laundry marker in it. The laundry marker was so that if you had a household full of women who all had very similar looking undergarments, you could tell whose was whose, or if you're sending your laundry out to be done, you can get yours back. I like to put mine in because then if I forget my chemise or drawers or something at the place that I volunteer at, then I can make sure it gets back to me. So I put my whole name in there. And here are my finished drawers. Got them on over leggings because, you know, I wouldn't normally wear them over them, but for this I am. You can see they cover pretty well. I got my chemise tucked into them. I could add tucks here still if I want to, and they would still cover my knees, although probably I would have them be a little bit longer if I was going to do that. They cover pretty well, especially with the chemise. I would maybe overlap this a little bit more, because sometimes it opens and shows my corset, but it's under dresses, so whatever. But pretty good. I haven't worn this pair yet, so we'll see how. I'll try them out this spring, see how they go. They should be pretty functional though, if plain. Thanks for watching and joining me in this exploration of 1850s underwear. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about my experiences with those. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button and please subscribe if you would like to watch more of my videos. I plan on uploading every other week or so. I've got lots of other projects coming up. I'm going to make a new chemise, I'm going to make a new corset, got some petticoats probably, going to make chemisette, undersleeves, all kinds of 1850s underwear. And then once I get a new setup, I'm going to go to other eras. So stick around, let me know what you thought. What do you think about drawers? Do you have a pair? Do you want a pair? Have you worn them before? Do they creep you out? Let me know what you think. And have a great time until I see you next. Bye. Brand. Say bye.